Well, well, well. It is Monday. It is Monday and we are back. I don't know the exact date. I know that, it's the 24th, dude. Thanksgiving is amongst us. What are you looking forward to most? Like what aspect of the Thanksgiving meal do you love the most that you look forward to? The thing I like about Thanksgiving is there's really no other time throughout the year that you eat anything that you eat on Thanksgiving. How often do you see green bean casserole floating around out there throughout the other 364 days? I don't see it. I don't ever come across a green bean casserole. How about stuffing? No, I mean, never. You never encounter stuffing. Unless you go to like a restaurant that specializes in Thanksgiving foods. Like I'm trying to think if like back in the day, and I don't even know if this place is around anymore, Boston Market. I think at the Boston Market you could get like meatloaf and some stuffing, but I can't remember exactly because it's been, it's like so many years, decade or more, probably more. And now I don't even think that they have a Boston Market in Omaha. The pot pies have died. It's a sad day for pot pies in Nebraska. But dude, you never run into stuffing. And I am thankful for that. It wouldn't be special. You wouldn't look forward to the stuffing if the stuffing was being presented to you numerous times throughout the year. On Thanksgiving, you'd be like, God, I just had stuffing last week. Can't eat more stuffing. But it's not, so it's special. There is one thing. Sometimes you'll see it at restaurants or maybe around, I feel like maybe sweet potatoes with the marshmallows melted on top. I feel like you run into those. But I feel like I have, where I'm like, what is that? What is this? Blasphemy. What is this? I turn over the tables like Jesus at the temple. I'm like, this is for Thanksgiving only. And just huck the table in the air. Potatoes are going everywhere. Children are crying. Women are screaming. Those are my potatoes. I slaved over a stove for those. And I'm like, shut up, Martha. I know Tim cooks. But dude, yeah, so I don't know what you're looking forward to, but I like green bean casserole and I like the stuffing. And stuffing is what I am going to be doing to my mouth in just a few days. And it's going to be fantastic. I think here in the Midwest, in Nebraska, snow is in the forecast for the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know if it's flurries. I think it said like an inch on each day. I personally, dude, I like it when it snows on Thanksgiving. I would like a good 4 to 13 inches. And then, dude, you're just eating. It's like snow is falling. People have their lights up. They did them this last weekend because this weekend was absolutely gorgeous. We're talking in the 60s. Yesterday, dude, the sun was hot. There was no wind. It was absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sitting at a picnic table eating lunch with my wife, a friend of mine who does electrical. Gabe, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. And we're sitting at the picnic table at the farm eating, and it's like, I'm like, what month is it? What month? Like right now, if you drop me down into this realm at this exact time and didn't tell me what month it was, I wouldn't be able to guess. Except there are no leaves on the trees, so I would say obviously this is fall. So I guess the dead trees is a little bit of a giveaway. But still, man, fantastic weather. Dude, where I work, our company faced off, like a handful of our guys faced off against a handful of dudes at another business in a flag football competition. Now, I was there for my, my duty, which is to take pictures and video and make something awesome, which I'm going to be doing later this morning. But, dude, I'm watching them play, and I'm like, man, I have not played like any sporting activity besides running in so long. Plus, I'm like watching them out there, and I'm like, shit, I'll put these fools to shame. I'm going to put them to shame, dude. I just ran all summer. I just spent the summer running sprints. I have the endurance of a cheetah. Like, I can run and run and run. Put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. That's what I said. There was a younger kid in his 20s, and I go, yo, dude, because you had to wear, like, this green shirt. I'm like, let me borrow your shirt, dude. I'm going to play a few downs. He's like, you are? Like, he was shocked. Like, he was like, old man? Shouldn't you be over there singing Neil Young, just being like, old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. Or would he be singing that to me? One or the other. I don't know. But he just kind of gave me this look like, dude, you're over 40. Like, you'll die out there. Like, I know this is just flag football, but you will become a corpse. You will die on that field, and the vultures will circle and peck out your eyes. That's the look he gave me, and I'm just like, give me your shirt. So I took the shirt, dude. I went in. I played a few downs, and everything that I imagined in my head, none of that transpired. None of that, dude. I just wanted the opportunity to get the ball once. But it was like a shorter field. I felt like there wasn't like a lot of movement. It was very crammed. So it was very just packed with all the players. And so you couldn't really like... There's a difference between having endurance, being able to run, and then being like super quick and fast on the get up. Like if we were to just play like a lot of the people were getting worn out because every play you're sprinting your brains out. But like for the time that I played, like I didn't get tired. So I'm like, man, if I could just wear them out. Like if we could, like I could probably run plays for like 2.5 hours. Because that's how long I ran when I did the half marathon. And then all these fools would just be so tired, then I could just get away from them and catch the ball. But dude, the first play, man, the ball was thrown to me, but the people playing quarterback, dude, this isn't their, they didn't grow up doing quarterback things. And so they weren't the best at target location, at target locale. And so it wasn't like the best throw, but it was to me. But dude, someone ran up on me so hard that like I kind of like ran like forward, and they ended up running into me or whatever. But so it was more of the fact that I have like endurance, but my legs, like the quickness and like being quick. I gotta grab this phone call. Hang on. All right, so I got that phone call, but where was I? Okay, so my feet, like my legs and my feet aren't just like as agile. Like they don't, like we have like a fairly new puppy at home. He's probably like a year old, year and a half or something. I don't know, maybe 2. I don't think he's 2. And he's so rubbery. Like he's so small. Like he's a little chihuahua. I think he is so tiny, like 2.5 pounds. I don't know, but like, he just bounces. Like you can like pick him up and like, bend over just a little bit and drop him down, and is just like boom, and he just takes off and runs circles around the other dogs whose like bones are calcifying and becoming hard as like fossilized wood. And I feel like that is my like your legs as you get older, like falsified wood. You know what I mean? So it's like I could like turn, and then I started getting freaked out because I had ruptured an Achilles tendon playing basketball super hard, right? Like at like 37 or something, where I was playing against all these 20-year-olds, and I've never even like grew up really playing basketball. But then I was like, it was knockout, and I was making the shots, knocking it out. It was just down to me and one other dude that was like 25 or less. And then that's when my Achilles tendon snapped. So then my Achilles tendon that hasn't snapped has been sore from running. And when I was out there, I'm like, I don't know if I should be doing all these pivots and stuff like that. So, but I still did. And, yeah, dude, it was just a little, it was a little rough. It was weird. It was weird being my age and then putting myself in that scenario and then feeling how my body has actually changed and become older. Like it was weird to experience that. Because I hadn't yet. Like in a competitive, like when I'm out running, that's just me by myself. I'm competing against myself, and so, but like putting yourself in like with 6 people on one team, 6 on the other, and you're all together competing, and then you're like, oh my God, dude, my body is not able to do the things that it once was just naturally able to do when I was younger. And I don't know how to feel about that. I guess I will mourn the loss of my agility and the way my body once was able to maneuver. But dude, I went like on the first play on defense. I ran up and just tried to grab, this dude caught the ball, and I ran up on him to grab his flag, and we were just both going so hard, dude, and I just rocked my head into the side of his body, dude, and my neck cracked like I had frozen people syndrome, and I went to the chiropractor, and they just turned my neck as hard as they could to loosen it up so I wouldn't be a frozen human being. And it was like, it was wild, man. And I'm like, oh, dude, I guess it is dangerous out here for me. So then the dude I borrowed the shirt from, he comes up to me, he's like, are you, after playing, I think like 2 rounds of D, 2 rounds of offense, he's like, are you gassed? I'm like, no, dude, I'm not gassed. Because some of these other, like even the younger guys that, still had their kind of like soft bones, their non-fossilized wood, and they were able to move quick, like they were getting out of breath because they weren't, they don't do anything for endurance. And I'm like, no, man. I'm like, no, I feel great. I just, like the reality of aging is setting in. I mean, do you want me to sit down on a couch? Like, do you want to talk about my feelings right now? Do you want? But I don't know, man. It was it was an interesting experience. I have to say, dude, I found this every once in a while. I think because I looked up David Goggins recently, that maybe this is why I'm getting these like alerts or whatever. But I got like an alert on my phone of this post that was put in the David Goggins Reddit forum. And the answer that someone wrote to this guy's Reddit entry is gonna just blow your mind. Well, it did mine. I'm like, what insane advice to write. So this guy, I don't know if you're familiar with David Goggins, but he is like the human that is like a cyborg. I mean, this guy, I saw a video of him like at the beginning, in the middle of the summer when I was running and stuff, and he was talking about running, and someone was like, he was being interviewed, he's like, how much do you run a day? And every morning. And David Goggins is like no less than 12 miles. While he just looks like nothing but, like he is so skinny now from running that his head looks like an alien head. The skin is so tight. The chin and the jaw is so small, and the skin is so tight, and then his skull goes up, and his head just looks bigger around the cranium. The dome and he looks like an alien. He's like, no less than 12 miles. I'm like, that is insane, dude. Every single morning you're waking up and running no less than 12. I don't know if he's doing it on a treadmill, if he's doing it outside, but at that point, I don't know whether to like envy you, to like congratulate you, or be worried that you have some mental illness situation going on. So if you've ever read his books are like push through the pain, like you can accomplish anything. Like this dude tried out for the Navy SEALs twice. On the second time, he like went through like Hell Week, like the last half of it on like broken feet and shins, and just like duct taped them and just kept running. Just crazy. And then how he's like, I study, and then he would like study till 1 a.m. and sleep an hour. So he writes a book, and it's about that, like, you're more capable of anything. You just have to work harder. So this dude writes, he goes, he says, I feel like the book is telling you that your capabilities are much bigger than you can imagine. And not that there is no limit. Like you can't ask David Goggins to run infinite miles forever. Yeah, we can. And I expect him to. So go out and Forrest Gump it. I mean, I kind of want David Goggins to just go out there and run till he dies. However long that takes. Years, it doesn't matter. Just run until you're done. Do it for us. All right, so he says, I don't know if this is like if he's in MI6, because he wrote one. So I don't know. People don't really spell check when they're writing into the internets. So he's like, I'm a male 16. That's the shorthand here for Reddit speak. I am M16 living in Korea. I'm currently in a private high school where studying is super competitive. And I just hated myself being belittled by a few people because of my grades being lower than them, even though I know I didn't show my full potential. And when I read this book, it changed me. It gave me so much drive to study that I will beat everyone in studying. I woke up at 7 a.m., slept at midnight, having only 10-minute phone break every day, studying all the time in school, even break time, studying 12 hours a day in summer breaks. And then the next exam, I studied for 2 months straight, more than ever, and then depression ruined me. It affected my mental health. I suffered from depression for like 1.5 months. I know it's probably not a big deal for some. He said he would cry, have suicidal thoughts, and I didn't even get good grades that I studied my ass for. Like that is, dude, I would fall into a depression too. If I was like, I'm going to be the best, and I was studying 12 hours a day, only taking 10-minute phone breaks, and I did this for months, and then I didn't get a good grade, I would set fire to my books. I would be like, I'm never reading again. I am done with school. I will go to the streets and sell chiclets. Chiclet. That's what I would do with my life. But this dude writes the first response on it. This is what this guy tells this kid. Literally go and touch grass. That's his advice. Don't mean this as a dig, but every day do so for like 15 minutes and see what happens. So this guy, I don't know, but does he want him to go outside, the 16-year-old male in Korea, and get on his hands and knees and just like put his hands in the grass? Does he want him to pet the grass? Like just touching the grass is going to solve all of his problems. No, the correct advice is, dude, you probably didn't do well on the test because you put so much pressure on yourself. All right, you probably were tired. You were forcing yourself to study 12 hours a day under stress, under exhaustion, that your brain was probably not able to retain a lot of the information that you were studying because of the situation that you had placed in yourself on yourself. So yeah, maybe cut that in half. Focus really hard, then meditate on what you just learned while you're petting grass. I don't know. I don't know if you need to bring in the grass at all. Maybe just go on a walk. I don't think you have to go outside petting grass, because now if you're depressed and you're outside petting grass in Korea, I don't know what they do to you. If they put you in some sort of camp, if they euthanize you, I don't know their laws. But people will probably be really concerned. They'll be like, yeah, man, he studied for 2 months and just bombed his exam, and now he just spends his days outside on his hands and knees petting grass and talking to grass. We have to put him on lithium and put him in a room now with padded walls. But it'd be more like, Hai Sang Tong, Kintan Pantin, La Patose. I don't know if that's Korean. My Korean's is not as good as it used to be. So, dude, you can do that, man. Like, if you strain yourself too much and push yourself too much, like, you cannot, like, it'll affect your memory. I mean, I've had this experience before. Like, you got to sit back and take a inventory of, like, your, like, feelings, like your thinking, like, why is it that my grades weren't as good as they were? Like, I accredit it to when I was teaching my son how to ride a bike. Like, we would go, like, on, like, the first day, go out, and I would just have him, like, ride until I could tell that he was getting frustrated. Like, cause if you push it too long, like, what would happen is, like, he would do fairly good at first. And then he would just, like, get frustrated and then really focus and try to do better and better. But then actually, since you're learning, towards, like, say if you got an hour block, like the first half an hour, you're doing well. But then for the second half an hour, your brain's getting tired. You're kind of like, you're getting some mental exhaustion, body exhaustion. And then the last half hour is actually not as good as the first half hour. So then, this would be in the evening, and I'm like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stop. And then tomorrow you're going to do better. Like, because you've practiced and everything. And now your mind is going to, like, calibrate almost while you sleep these new skills that you're learning. And so then he would go to bed, and then the next day he would immediately, he would do better than he did the day before in that first, say, half an hour block. And then it would start to wane, and, he would just be like, the bike would be wobbly and get worse and worse. So then I'd stop him, and I'm like, all right, well, I think that you've had enough. And I'm like, we'll just get a good night's sleep, and then tomorrow you'll be even better. And then he was. So, like, you can do that with studying too. It's like, if you're going to study in the evening, just study until you're unable to, like, really focus, and you're starting to, having to read sentences like over and over again a few times. You're getting tired. Just stop and then go, like, lay down. I wouldn't even watch TV, and just kind of think about everything that you studied, and just kind of meditate on what you would, get a good night's sleep, and then do the same thing. Like, study up until that point when, if you cross this, it's really not going to matter, because your body's just like, oh, I've had enough information. I gotta marinate on what it is that I just learned. I gotta let it soak in and marinate in my sleep. Ooh, like a good sauce. And that's what I would suggest to him. I think he just pushed himself too hard for too long, and he passed the point every day where his brain could really retain it, because it was just like, this is insane. Now, if you're going to study for 12 hours a day, I would recommend, like, if you say you had 4 chapters to study, that you just study the first chapter for 12 hours over and over and over again, because then you're just kind of embedding that information in you. So I wouldn't, like, go, all right, I'm going to study all 4 chapters all through today, and then again tomorrow, 12 hours every day. Now, I would do, like, the first chapter 12 hours every day for 2 days. And then I would go to chapter 2, and I would 2 days. 3, I would do that, and then I would repeat the cycle. if I really wanted to do 12 hours. But yeah, he probably just pushed his brain and his body to a point where it was like, I hate this shit. Stop trying to teach me Korean medicine. So I don't know. Like, I just think that that's better advice than saying literally go outside and touch grass and then enjoy the mental institute when your parents put you there. I saw this over the weekend and I just couldn't even believe it. Elon Musk's vision of the future. Work is optional, money is irrelevant, and as AI and robots take over everything. Who the hell, what is this world that we're moving into? Hell of a time to be alive. Dude, I was just listening to this morning when I got up this podcaster that I like. I like this dude. I just kind of like his demeanor. He's got a great head of hair. His name's Jack Morgan. He's got like 2 channels and he kind of just, picks something and we'll talk about like a video or article that he comes across. And this one that he was talking about, there's this Asian dude. And maybe Korean. I can't tell what flavor of Asian he is. But he looks a little kung pao. Looks spicy. And he's saying the title of this video that this Jack guy is, reacting to is I'm 26 and life sucks. And it's just like everybody is going through the same thing right now, like universally, like especially across this country, is everybody is working their ass off and not having enough to survive because everything is so expensive. And they're just playing all these damn games like in Washington and everything else. Like, dude, Trump, your promises, you suck, dude. Like, relieve us of this financial pressure and burden that we're under in America. I don't know. Force the credit card companies to forgive all the debts. Do a jubilee. All right? You love Israel so much, follow their customs, do a jubilee. And just wipe the debt clean from all the Americans and watch everyone, like they would, if Trump was able to do that, they would make him king. The people would make him king. So maybe it's not the best idea, but it would, maybe it'd be worth of it so we could all breathe. But he's talking about how this 26-year-old, he's going to school to be a physical therapist assistant, and how much just time it's taking and everything, and he's doing all this. And when he gets out of school, he's only going to make $55,000. And on top of that, he lives in California. And he's like, what is even the point? But then he's just going on, and then people in the comments too on this Asian dude's video is just the same thing. Like, I'm this age, I don't have a car, I'm broke, I'm this age, and it's all ages, dude. It was all from early 20s all the way into the people saying that they were in their 50s. And it just makes me sad, dude. It makes me sad. It sucks. Like, when I was growing up, we didn't think it was going to be that way. Like, everyone could really, growing up in the 90s and stuff, dude, the late 80s and 90s, it seemed easy, even from a kid's perspective. Like, watching my parents, all my neighbors in my neighborhood and everything is like, oh, dude, it's easy to just, when you grow up, you get a job, you get a house, live comfortably. But it's not like that. And all the parents and most dads, they just had a good job and they just got off at 5. They were home all the time. But now it's like, it just seems that you just have to work all the time. You got to have a side hustle, got to have multiple streams of income. And it is exhausting. And then you're looking in and when does the relief come? It's like staring into the abyss. When is there going to be financial relief? So many people are just sitting there looking into the future and wondering, and their hope is dying that relief is never going to come. Because the jobs are just paying shit. No one is paying living wages based on everything that you see people speaking about and talking about online when it comes to the cost of living. And it needs to change, dude. It's like we've been going through this for so long. Like it's just nuts that, we go through COVID. No one's making, like it's hard to make all this shit, they say, like they used to, because no one can work. Because if you're within 6 feet of someone, you fucking die. And so prices skyrocket, and then we come out of COVID, and they just keep going up. It's like once manufacturing and all industries came back and the workers came back to make everything like they did prior to COVID, there should be a price decrease. But corporations can't do that because they don't have souls, and all they care about is the red arrow going up. And so now not only did prices not go down after COVID, they are just going up and up and up and up and up. And it blows, dude, and people are sick of it. That's why they voted for a communist Islam dude in New York, because he's saying that he's going to give certain things for free to release the financial burden that has been placed on people, especially living in places like New York and California. And there needs to be a solution. I don't know what that solution is. But something needs to change, because then a lot of these people in the comments too, dude, they're in their 20s and they're hating their life and they don't see a future. And that is not right. That sucks ass. And I feel for them. And I'm in the same position as like all of them, dude. I got to piece together my income. I do stand up, more video work and stuff, like freelance on the side. Work my job. I'm renovating a farmhouse. Dude, I go from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed. I'm not stopping. From working, either physical labor, remodeling the farmhouse in the evenings, doing a job during the day, fitting in the morning or in between, going to the farmhouse and my job, like editing videos, doing shows on the weekends, all this, dude. Yeah, you crash out, man. You crash out. It's a hard knock life. It's a hard knock life for this jigga. And I don't think that's a racist term. I think that's just me calling myself Jay-Z. I don't know anymore. I don't know. But this is the Austin Anderson Show. Let's solve these problems together. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you. Have a great day.